Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to this online program. My name is Blakeley and I'm the violist of the Griffon String Quartet. The first piece on today's program is Intermezzo for String Trio by Zoltan Kodály. This piece was written in 1905, just as Kodály was finishing his compositional studies in Budapest. While he was in school, and especially after, he became interested in ethnomusicology, where he would visit remote Hungarian villages and record, study, and preserve folk tunes that he heard there. He is remembered as one of two of the most important 20th century Hungarian composers. Bartók is the other. They have actually very similar journeys and were great friends. They supported each other's work and they collaborated academically, and they were known for championing each other's compositions. In fact, we may not know as much as we know of Kodály or Bartók without the other. This piece features folk melodies, as we're not surprised to find out. These melodies are friendly and singable. And you can tell that Kodály was fresh out of composition school because he really mixes things up with the harmony. The harmony is interesting and colorful, and he also utilizes several interesting textures, such as pizzicato, which all of the voices play pizzicato at one point or another, and also the use of drones. A drone is a sustained pitch that lasts for a very long time, and it provides a nice foundation and almost a certain ambiance that changing pitches doesn't provide. We hope that you enjoy this piece and that you'll stick around at the end of our program today for a discussion among the Griffon String Quartet members. We'd love to update you on our new violinist search, as well as other exciting things coming up. So we hope that you'll stick around, and we can't wait to see all of you when it's safe to do so in person. And again, thank you so much for tuning in.
The Brazilian composer Heitor Villa-Lobos composed his string trio in 1945 for a chamber music foundation in Virginia called Elizabeth Coolidge Foundation. It was premiered that same year in Washington, D.C. by the Albernieri Trio with great success. This piece, along with his Piano Concerto No. 1, marks an important point in Villa-Lobos' international career, where from 1945 until he passed away in 1959, he constantly visited the United States and Canada as one of the most important composers of that generation. Today, we are going to play for you the Andante movement of Villa-Lobos' string trio. This movement is highlighted by a beautiful, rich melody featured by all three instruments and complex rhythm combinations throughout the entire piece. I hope you enjoy.
Hello, my name is Alejandro Drago, and I am a violinist, composer, teacher, and conductor. And I am the author of a piece you're about to listen to, Buda's Tantric Tango. So let me tell you a little bit about the piece. I wrote this piece already in the United States between 2005 and 2006, at a time at which a number of interesting and relevant things were happening in my professional life. One of them was that I was completing my doctoral degree in orchestral conducting, and as part of my studies, I was studying the Neo-Riemannian theory, which is a theoretical tool for analyzing chords that pays attention to the connection of the chords rather than the function of those chords. Also, I was the second violin in the New York-based Quartet Tango, a string quartet devoted to tango, in a little bit in the way that the Turtle Island String Quartet plays jazz. So that meant that I was traveling very often to New York and hanging out with a lot of colleagues and friends, very interesting people, and I enjoyed their company a lot. Our conversations, our hanging together, basically, where all kinds of subjects would come up. Now, one of my friends there got the pseudonym or the moniker La Buda, and as a kind of a joking thing, I put him in the context of the myth of Shiva, the Indian myth of Shiva, and his divine counterpart, Shakti, right? I was always very interested in Indian art, music, philosophy, and history. So the piece has a plot. It's a love story between the god Shiva and his future wife, Shakti, but everything happens in the context of tango dancing. But more relevantly, at the time, I was analyzing a number of elements in 20th century harmony, and there were a number of chords that had a lot of appeal to me. I was working on pieces by Rachmaninoff, Scriabin, Mahler, you name it. Well, certainly Puccini. So there were chords such as Stravinsky, the famous Rite of Spring chord, right? Or the famous mystical chord by Scriabin. Let's do it an octave higher. Okay. Or the initial chord, the famous bitonal chord in the opera Turandot by Puccini. It has this D minor and then C sharp major here. And here's the point. Reflecting on my friendly encounters and conversations and time spending in New York with very interesting people I met there, I thought, what if I put these chords in a room, so to say, talking to each other and using Neo-Riemannian theory to connect them and see what melodies, what intonations come out of this conversation of very unique and interesting individuals. And let's see if I can give it a tango flavor and use this canvas and colors to paint the story of Shiva and Shakti in a tango mood. The result of such an effort is Buda's Tantric dance or Shiva's dance. I hope you will enjoy it.
Thank you once again for being here. Our next and final piece on the program is Astor Piazzolla's Oblivion. Astor Piazzolla, composer, arranger, and bandoneon player, was born on March 11th, 1921 in Argentina. We just celebrated his 100th birthday a few days ago. For those of you who do not know, the bandoneon is similar to the accordion. Piazzolla was known as the king of Nuevo Tango. He drew from elements of jazz, classical music, and combined it with Argentinian tango to truly create his own sound. Now, Piazzolla grew up in New York, but he also studied in Paris, France. He did not always have this unique sound and identity. I'm going to read you Piazzolla's reflection that he had while studying with Nadia Boulanger in Paris. When I met her, I showed her my kilos of symphonies and sonatas. She started to read them and suddenly came out with a horrible sentence. It's very well written. After a long while, she said, here you are like Stravinsky, here you are like Bartók, and here you are like Ravel. But you know what happens? I can't find any Piazzolla in this. And she began to investigate my private life, what I did and did not play, if I was single, married, or living with someone. She was like an FBI agent. And I was very ashamed to tell her I was a tango musician. She kept asking, you say you are not a pianist. What instrument do you play then? And I didn't want to tell her that I was a bandoneon player. Finally, I confessed, and she asked me to play some bars of my own tango. She suddenly opened her eyes, took my hand, and told me, you idiot, that's Piazzolla. I took all the music I composed, 10 years of my life, and sent it to hell in 2 seconds. Now, Oblivion is written in the milonga style, or the slow tango, precursor to the nuevo tango. The milonga dance, from what I understand, requires a more relaxed body and relaxed legs. Now, this composition originally was written in 1982 for the film Enrico IV by Marco Belluccio. And there are many different arrangements of this piece. You'll see Oblivion for orchestra, solo violin, piano trio, string quartet, solo oboe, klezmer quartet, etc. Our version begins with a low and slow pulsing pizzicato from the cello, creating a dark ambience. Next, we will pass along a beautiful dark melody, dark but love-filled melody, beginning with Blakeley, our violist. And we will pass this melody throughout the whole piece. We hope you enjoy this piece as much as we enjoyed playing it. Stick around for the end. We will have a little Q&A session between the three of us. And thank you for being here. Enjoy.
Thanks everybody for watching this program. It was a lot of fun to put together, and we just want to kind of close out our time together with some dialogue like we did at our last concert. And even though we can't converse with all of you, we find it's a really fun way to feel connected to our audience. So in a similar fashion to our December concert, we've each brought a question to ask the other Griffon members, and maybe I can get things rolling. The question that I would like to know from you guys is, in the last 12 months of this whole online business, what is something that you have been really proud of that we as the Griffon have worked on? So I can give my answer first. And something that I'm really proud of that we worked on this year was our YouTube channel, which is where many of you are watching this right now. We made weekly videos, and we're still making them every week for the Boys and Girls Club in Sturgeon Bay. And I think all of us can say that this was like our maiden voyage in video editing and writing video content and recording it. And many of the videos were collaborative among the three of us, and sometimes we would invite guests into the videos. So a huge highlight for me of this project was having Jordan Bach on one of my videos for Black History Month. So that was really fun to work on with him. And it was a project that I was proud of this year that we worked on.
Maybe I'll go next.
Sure.
This year, it was kind of scary at the beginning because we had to do all our teaching virtually. And I'm actually pretty proud that we've grown as a trio and individually as teachers. You know, the first few lessons virtually were so difficult because our kids didn't know how to tune their instruments. And, you know, I'm so thankful for their parents who also learned how to tune their instruments and really helped out during this time. My students, I know learning virtually is very difficult, but I'm so proud of them because they all got so much better and they were patient and understanding of the situation. And yeah, I'm excited to share what they're up to because they're starting to sound really good, and they're all, you know, still really into making music and playing the cello. So how about you, Vinny?
Something that I'm really proud about this year, I would say, is our string trio work. You know, as a lot of people are aware of it, string trio is not an easy ensemble to play. I think there's a pretty obvious reason. So I guess it's obvious now that we've been working as a trio, but I think there is a reason why composers haven't written so much for string trio. And I after being working as a string trio for a few months right now, I think I understand even better why composers prefer to write for, let's say, string quartet or string quintet. I think for most of the repertoire we've been working on, it feels like the composers wanted to write for string quartet, and they are kind of putting extra notes for the string trio, right? So our parts become extra challenging. And I mean, of course, string quartet is also extremely challenging, but I would say that string trio is extra challenging compared to the quartet. And I think so far, even with the circumstances, you know, us not being able to rehearse as much as we would normally be rehearsing during normal times, I think we've been doing a really good job, you know.
I agree.
Maybe I'll move on to my question. My question is, what are you guys looking forward to next year? What I'm looking forward is our new member of the Griffon String Quartet. This has been definitely a really incredible experience. We we had an audition. I mean, we are in the process of selecting this new member, and we had the open application for, I would say, about a month or two. And we finally got all the applications, and we are now in the process of selecting people for the second round, which will happen soon, I would say in the next few weeks. And then we will also later have the final round where we'll have people come and play with us for a few days, if COVID allows, of course. Yeah, I think this is very exciting because, like I said, I think we are really proud of the work we've been doing with string trio, but we can't wait to go back to string quartet and explore the amazing repertoire that is available out there for string ensemble, string quartet ensemble, and excited to have a new person playing with us. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that as well. Going through those applications has been really, really fun, and it's just been really encouraging that so many amazing people have applied. It's been really awesome. Something that I'm looking forward to is our mentorship with the Pro Arte Quartet that's been going on this year. So far, everything's been online. We've done some virtual coaching, virtual conversations, but the grand finale of this whole mentorship is a performance together. So of course, COVID threw a wrench in this whole process. So, there's a lot of question marks, but we know that this will happen at some point, and it's something that I'm really, really looking forward to, because Vinny, you and I actually played with the Pro Arte. We did the Mendelssohn Octet just before we both graduated, I believe. Wasn't it just like a couple weeks before graduation or something? Yeah. It was like a highlight of my whole school experience, just before graduation. So that's something I'm really, really looking forward to, even though we don't know quite when or where or how, but we know it will happen at some point. What about you, Ryan?
Along the same lines as Blakeley, I'm super excited for in-person events, in-person rehearsals, I mean, we are rehearsing in person, but not as regularly, taking COVID protocol precautions and everything. But I'm excited for having an audience. So we recorded these concerts, and it's just truly missing the energy and the electricity from the audience. And I can't wait to feel that again. As much as we love recording, it's quite a chore. To play live for people, there's no other feeling like that. And this goes along with like also teaching in person, visiting our friends that are part of the B double sharp program, and just to see more friendly faces and to be more around more people. That's what I'm excited for, and hopefully soon that'll happen. So we'll see. Okay, so maybe my question, we could talk a little bit about, in the past few years, we like to play well together, we like to rehearse well together, but I think it's pretty clear that we also love hanging out with each other. And the problem with this past year is we haven't really done that. Like, even though we do in-person rehearsals, it's like, okay, bye, see you guys. At the end, don't get to eat together, don't get to watch The Office together. It's really lacking. So my question is basically, what is the first thing you want to do as a trio, as a quartet, post-COVID? And maybe I'll answer this first. Right before COVID, maybe like a year ago, sometime at the end of February, you guys went bowling, and I did not come because I was tired, and I'll catch the next one. And it's been a year, COVID happened, and I couldn't go bowling. So I want to go bowling with you guys. I think that would be super fun. Maybe get some cheese curds, some wings, and yeah, I think that's the first thing I want to do with you guys. How about you?
Well, that sounds really good, actually. I can't wait to be able to play bowling with you guys. That sounds super fun. I guess for me, what I really look forward to do with you guys is I've been, since the beginning of the pandemic, I've been more into grilling, and in specific, some Brazilian cuts that the type of meat cuts that I kind of grew up eating. And I recently figured out, maybe a year ago, that I figured out that there are some cuts available here in Madison. And there's one in specific, one type of meat. It's called picanha cut, or I think it's in English would be called top sirloin cap. And I've tried a few times, and it's always a success. It's so good, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. Really,
my mouth is literally
Yeah,
watering.
we can't wait to. I don't know who's more excited about that one, you or us, the cook or the people eating the food. Well, I don't want to hurt your feelings, because I love both of you dearly and I love hanging out with you. But the ones that I really miss are Sarah and Leah. I miss the girls and the cats. So the thing that I want to do is I want to go to Vinny's apartment and see all 3 of his cats and hug his wife so tight, because I have not seen them, the cats or Sarah, in a long, long time. I think it's been over a year, which since I've known you guys, which has been 5 years, I've never gone that long without seeing
That's
you guys, in person. And there's a special kitty in your life that I've never met, and you've had her for over a year, and I still have not met the little gray fluff ball. And I want to go to Ryan's apartment and hang out with his cats, his 3 cats, and give Leah a big squeeze as well. So I'm missing the larger network of our little community that we have, where like the 3 of us are friends, but we also enjoy each other's significant others so much. And I just want to get together with everybody and have that steak that Vinny's going to cook for us.
We want to see Ben too. We didn't say, but we want to see Ben too.
Yeah, Ben misses you guys too. Well, I guess we can maybe wrap up from here. Hopefully our audience enjoyed, hearing our answers to some of these questions. We cannot wait to see all of you in the future. We hope that it's sooner than later. And please stay in touch with us. You can find contact info at the Midsummer's Music website. You can check out our YouTube channel. Hopefully you're already there if you're watching this video. But we want to stay in touch with you and hear how you're doing as well during this year. And we want to know what you're looking forward to for the Griffon in the future as well. So I guess we can say goodbye, everybody, and thank you for being here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.